Hi, welcome back. In continuation to my introductory video, I would like to share the topics, list of topics that I am planning to deliver as part of the first phase of this coaching and mentoring sessions. Starting with freshers hiring, how freshers have been hired, right from the after the competitive writing the examination, the group discussions, or the interview patterns, how MNCs look at it from a fresher's perspective, how they have been inducted, what all been training that they'll go through, or a startup companies, what their expectations and how what's their freshers hiring processes, how should prepare as a fresh engineering graduate, your preparedness in terms of sharing your thoughts, sharing your expertise, what you have academically gained, and putting forth your perspective, or giving your skill set to the interviewer and HR, how to prepare for that. All that I want to talk to begin with, followed by as a second session, give a perspective on career opportunities once you have joined the organization as a trainee, and then what are the different career opportunities that exist for one to choose, be it on a technology stack, how one can grow from a trainee programmer to a programmer to a consultant, principal consultant, on technology ladder, what are the different technology career position that exists, and how do you target, how do you plan your career for first 3 years, next 6 years, next 10 years, and what are the different options available, how you should pursue, what you should do, and all that. Similarly, what are the different management opportunities that exist? If somebody wants to choose management as as a career path, after programmer, after business analyst, after project lead, project manager, program manager, service delivery manager, and then getting into the leadership team, how organizations pursue this career path, how one should prepare, what they should do, how they should plan. All that I want to talk as part of one session under the career opportunities. Then the third one, I wanted to give an entire overview of software development life cycle, starting from how a fresh grounds up software development project processes are in terms of phases, development life cycle phases, how project is being initiated, what are the requirement gathering phase, requirement elicitation, requirement sign off, then design, high level design, low level design, and design POCs, which includes your architectural aspects, and conclusion on the architecture approach and platform and all that. And then how do you validate your design, and then how do you document all that, followed by the coding standards, what are the different coding standards that exist. In general perspective, I want to give some information and some details and some guidelines on that part, and then followed by the test cycles. What are the different test cycles that exist, test methodologies that exist, be it unit testing, system testing, integration testing, performance testing, regression testing, and all that, how it is pursued and what you should do and all that, and then the release management, and then the project closure and all that. Followed by this software development life cycle, as a fourth one, I wanted to talk on the software quality processes. At each phase, what are the different quality processes that one need to adhere. I think somebody coming to the system, if they know well in advance how softwares have been carried, and what are the different software quality frameworks that exist, and what as an individual you should do, as a team you should do, what it means to the customer. All that I want to talk. Software quality processes is not just a testing which I am talking about. I'm talking about the different processes that one need to adhere, different metrics that will be defined at a project level, how to capture that, what will capture that, who will do this, and then what are the different quality audits, why software qualities are performed, how quality report to be pursued, and what are the corrective steps, what is risk mitigation, risk identification, risk management in a project, all that, all that parameter. There are different processes and steps that are involved in software quality framework. I want to give a perspective and give a detailed understanding on the software quality methodologies and processes depending upon the software type of projects. So that means, I will also give a perspective on different types of projects that exist, software grounds up software, new fresh grounds up software development project, enhancement projects, customization projects, or support projects, and packaged implementation projects. How different are they from the fresh developments, testing projects, maintenance and support projects, and each project has its own methodology, each project has its own life cycle, each project has its own nuances, and then it's a process that needs to be followed. So all that I want to talk on the different types of projects. And then, as a fifth one, I want to give a complete 360 degrees perspective of a role of a project manager and what is project management, how a project manager important in a project, how he is perceived by the stakeholders in terms of clients, in terms of management, in terms of teams, and how himself look at him, how he perceives himself as a project manager, and what he expects, how he get his job done depending upon his background, being it as a technical project manager or a functional project manager, how different both are. What a technical manager looks at it from a team perspective, from a client perspective, from a management perspective, and vis-a-vis what a business project manager aspirations and expectations from all the stakeholders. I want to talk on that. And followed by as a sixth one, I will cover on different domains and verticals that exist in an organization. Some organizations define the domains under which they group the technologies. Some organizations define technologies as verticals and then group the domains under that technology verticals. So what it means, how are those domains and verticals are structured, and then how one will fit into it, and cross-functional domains and verticals, all that also I want to give a perspective. Then I want to talk about the program management, service delivery management, and practice management. How different are they from a practice management perspective? How solution engineering is envisaged at the pre-sales level, how the estimations are made, how important it is to have a cohesiveness between sales and pre-sales, and then the delivery teams to win the deals and to execute the deals, and post winning the deals, what are the important parameters, how the revenue recognition happens, starting from resource planning to the unbilled accruals to the billed accruals to its realization, and all that perspective I want to talk under the program management, service delivery management, and practice management. And then I wanted to shift a little bit of my focus again back to soft skills and cultural differences that exist in a global projects. What are the different soft skills expectations from the stakeholders? How culturally it is important to know the culture of the project stakeholders from where they have come from, how a project from a US differs from a project from Europe, from a Middle East regions, because it has its own background, and it has its own expectations, it has its own implications, and law of land and all that. I wanted to give some guidelines, inputs based on my experience and exposure. And then I want to talk about people management, and how to do people management in a software projects, how to manage the conflicts, how to build the people, and also how to separate the emotions from people, and then still ensure the desired objective that has been set for that. So all that I will cover under the people management in software projects. And then finally the leadership management, how leaders, second line leaderships have been identified and managed, by the organization is what I want to cover. And also followed by that, I want to talk on the role of HR. HR as a general practice, HR to the specific of talent acquisition, which is nothing but hiring, which is a crucial function in HR in terms of our starting freshers hiring to the leadership hiring, how different it is, how difficult it is, what are the issues that from an organization perspective recruiters and HR faces in screening the candidates, in finding the candidates, in doing the background verification, all that, all that I will cover under the talent acquisition processes. And then under the talent management and talent development, one important aspect of performance appraisals and giving feedback and taking feedback, what it means in a corporate sector, feedback importance, and then how to take feedback, how to identify unique strengths and areas of improvement, and how to deliver the feedback to the reportee, taking him to confidence, and then supervisor is giving the feedback, how to take it, keeping the emotions out, and then how do you improve, how to improve ourselves based on the feedback. There is a certain parameters that organization helps out every individual who has certain areas of improvement. Based on that guidelines, based on that performance improvement programs, how one should identify themselves and grow from there. All that I want to talk under the role of HR and performance and feedback management aspects. So these are all the 10-12 topics I have planned to deliver for about 30 minutes to 1 hour, and then share it with you all. Thanks for watching. Wait for my next video. Thank you.